concept is simple. Turn $50 into $1,000 playing the finest night tracks every Thursday night. This is Bankroll Building and Bourbon. And hello, we are live. We got a minute to post here. They're walking towards the gates here at Turfway Park Race 6. Caleb, you got anything here? Mark, I'm not going to even ask you because I know you got nothing.
I have nothing here now.
You have nothing here either. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have rushed us on here, but
I love how you rushed us on so you could get 5 races versus the 4. You're already getting an advantage of an extra race. You're trying to get a second now.
Dude, you can play that race as well.
I could.
I don't know if it's necessarily an advantage. I was kind of looking, but honestly, this 2 looks kind of tough to beat. So I really don't.
It's normally like a race I'd like to attack because it's awful. Like I think the favorite in here is the 2 at 9-5. He's 0 for 10. He's hit the board twice out of those 10 starts. But nobody's better than that. There is, out of all the horses in here, the 2 and the 6 and the 7 are the only ones to finish in the top 2 ever. And that's between like 30 career starts, and they've each done it once. Like, it's such a bad race.
I lied. I bet the 4.
Nice.
I got a $10 win bet here on this 4.
I will say, I thought I just saw the horse on here somewhere. Maybe I missed it. Oh, yeah, the 2, Declan. That's okay. Yeah, the jockey on the 2, Declan Cannon, he's been riding outstanding at Turfway. So the money hasn't really followed. Maybe it's finally starting to show up here. But he's been riding, every bit as good as Corrales and Ramos, honestly, despite not getting quite as good of mounts.
Yeah, I went with this 4 off the class drop, humongous class drop, going from a maiden 70K to a maiden claiming 7,500. He's kind of been bouncing around, but I thought his last race, he was forwardly placed, and I thought he was interesting as he's doing the moonwalk right now, Yeah, I thought he was going to be forwardly placed and might kick on, but he got shuffled back. I don't know what happened. He might just be really bad, like every other horse in this field.
I mean, this field is really, really bad. But of course, I see the horse making a move now. This one horse, who is the one a massive, massive class dropper, and I'm kind of amazed that horse went off the price it did. Of course, I'm just looking at this race now, so.
I don't think anyone's catching the 3.
Yeah, morning line favorite gets out to the lead. It looks like isn't going to stop. But Mark's 1 might second or third at 21.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks
that's probably a spot that I probably would have bet a horse like the 5. The first time starter.
I would have probably. Well, shit, I don't know what I would have done. The 3 actually, I don't want to say the 3 made sense because he just won the race, but he has the least tries of pretty much anyone in the field with the exception of the first time starter, has early speed, second off the layoff on the clash drop. He did kind of make some sense there. I'm surprised he wasn't the favorite.
Oh, that's funny. I just pulled up chat and John Massey saying, yep, that's when you bet the first time starter 5. But Vinny is unbettable right now.
He is. Dude is awful. He's 1 for 50.
All right. Well, after that rush start, I will finally get the rest of my stuff set up here because I was just rushing to get that bet in. But we'll have a couple races here at Turfway. We had a couple races here at Delta we're going to be playing tonight. I haven't really honestly looked at anything for this weekend. I don't know. Do you guys look at any of the cards this weekend? I doubt we're going to have anything that's going to top that Monday card that we had at Santa Anita. That was just an absolute monster. But
that Santa Anita card was absolutely amazing. Now, I haven't taken a look at anything this weekend. I think this is historically a little quieter weekend, but you are getting some things like you're getting Aqueduct coming back, although we're going to looks like get a lot of weather. I would expect it's going to be an absolute bog down there. I'm not super excited about anything, but see if I have some time and I might dabble a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be out of touch with New Year's Eve commitments and everything else. I haven't looked, and I probably won't. But I think there's usually a couple of mandatory payouts at the end of the year that some tracks have some force outs on either New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. So that'll be something to look forward to. And I always get them confused, but it's either I think isn't the Jerome coming up at the Aqueduct? It's all the Jerome or the Withers. I always get them mixed up, but I think one of those races is coming up.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of them, and I don't remember which one comes first.
It's like that weird race that goes a mile and an eighth, like way too early in the year.
And then, yeah, and you can really take nothing away from it because of that.
So, Mark, how much you got in the bankroll right now?
687.
You got 687. Wow, you are right there. I am down to I had 10 to win there, so I'm now down to 344. And Caleb, you're sitting at like what 150?
152, yeah.
152. Okay. So everyone's still got a shot here. Yep. John Massey saying that Jerome is the 7th.
Okay, it's the week after. I knew it was in January. I didn't know exactly when.
It's that weird orphan weekend between the first of the year and MLK, I guess. So. Yeah.
So what do you got here? I'm sure you got a play here at Delta.
Yeah, I do. I'm 3-5 here. The thing is, I really wanted to murder a double into the next, and my 8 in the next is just taking all of the money. The Cameo shipper. But no, I thought in this race, Adazar, who has a lot of early speed, can move out and is 1-2 in a row. Figures on those that last race came back a little bit light in comparison to some of the stuff that the 5 has been running here. But the 5 is no win machine at 2 for 14, so I feel like I kind of need to use both of them. I thought they were the two sort of main players in this race. I should right. Yeah, and I mean, the 3 here I think should get the lead if that's where they want to go to. I'd be shocked if the 3 doesn't end up on the lead, just being the inside most drawn of the speed horses. But it took quite a bit of money off that morning line, so a straight win bet on that one, which is probably my favorite of between the 3 and the 5. Isn't appealing at 3-1 anymore. So I was debating just a real big press double into the next, but I don't know if I'm really loving this getting 4.5 to 1. Ugh.
Yeah, I think I saw the race pretty similar to you, Mark, here. I actually am focused more on Delta tonight after I've just resigned myself to the fact that Turfway is not for me. Yeah, he says probably 15 minutes before playing a bet at Turfway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I do have a pick 5 going at Delta since I capped the whole card. So
I do as well.
Yeah, at AA so far, I didn't think it was that hard, up to this point. So in this race, I did kind of like make the 5 my lone A. I sort of like begrudgingly, I don't know that I trust the horse because I don't know if the horse can win without getting the lead, but not sure that he's going to get the lead over the horse like maybe the 3 or some of the other inside drawn speed or the 4 even. So I didn't really know what to do. I mean, the 5 probably should win based on that fairgrounds form, and he does have early speed. But I threw in the 2 and the 3 as B's on my ticket just in case the 3 gets the lead and doesn't stop. I mean, that's a lightly raced horse that has a lot of upside. And in case it comes back to the closers, I was kind of stuck between the 2 and the 6. And I sort of, went back and forth between them and figured, well, the 2 horse is probably going to be a better price. So he did beat the 6 when they faced off 2 back. So I ended up going with him. But to me, those were very similar horses and was a little bit tough to separate them.
Yeah, agreed.
But no contest play for me here. I'm kind of holding off to the next race.
So you're single to the 5 here?
I have the 5 as an A and the 2-3 as a B. So far, I'm AA, so I have coverage to all 3.
Yeah, I'm AA as well. I have 3-5 here, and then I have the 2 and the 7 as C's. So no B's.
Wow,
can't eat a B if you don't have any B's.
I kind of like Caleb. I kind of like the last horse you tossed. I think
the 6.
The 6.
No, I mean the 6 looks like I looked at the 6 a long time. I mean, he's 3rd off the layoff here. He improved last out 2nd off the layoff. With the new top, with another new top in here, could be a handful. I mean, especially if he gets the pace set up. I'm not against that horse at all. Like at this point, I kind of wish I'd have thrown him in as a B or a C type horse, but yeah, I don't have him, but I definitely think he could win.
I'll talk him right into the winner's circle for you, Josh. I thought this horse was just a complete toss. If you look at that last race, that came in the off-going, and a massive figure jump on the off-going. Horses just don't repeat those. It's fast today, so I would imagine you get a regression back to that 2-back performance, which just isn't fast enough to beat. And even if you do trust the figure, that horse still, at least time form wise, that horse needs to improve off that last effort. So I realize the horse does love to hit the board, but that's to me an underneath exacta or trifecta type horse, and not an on type or not an on top type horse.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at the favorite in this race, the 5 at 6-5, who's just a complete loser horse. I mean, yeah, like it's one of those horses that seems to like just run to whatever group he's running with and finish second or third. Like, when the horse has been in softer spots, the horse hasn't necessarily won. So I don't know. I just thought the 6 being kind of the lightly raced, and at least on Briz looks to be somewhat of a consistent horse figure wise. Time form maybe doesn't agree with that, but I don't know that kind of the 6 kind of if I was going to try and get around this 5, I mean obviously I do like your 3 Astar. That makes a ton of sense here. But yeah, I thought the 6 was worth a look. I might just have to play something here just to spite you, Mark.
Spite away. It does look like, judging by what I'm seeing from True Odds, that the 3 is going to drift up a little bit. And at 5-1, which looks like what the 3 should go off at, that horse is a little more interesting.
Yeah, I would agree. A 3 to me is kind of like the interesting horse in here that's maybe not really exposed. The 2, I think, is the horse that I'm surprised is not getting any attention, because I thought that his form was, as good as anybody else's in here. I mean, yeah, he got set up in his last 2 with some pretty hot paces up front to chase after. But those races came back pretty live, and I don't really see any reason he won't get at least an honest pace in here with the likes of the 3, 4, and 5 all likely to go to the front. So yeah, this was an interesting race. The 2, I mean, I didn't have confidence in this race, so that's why I'm not really pressing it or even playing it in a contest. But if I'm saying, well, I don't really trust the 5 and I just want another horse to bet, I think that at 7-1, I think that 2 looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with you. In this race does on paper look like the type of race that should come apart. It looks like there's quite a bit of speed. You should have the three different horses that arguably need the lead or are going to be pressing the lead early. So I could see it coming apart and setting up that 2.
Man, I want to play something here, but man, these pools are sharp. The 3-6 exact is paying $20. That feels like super light.
Yeah, to leave out the even money choice, that does feel pretty bad.
The 3-5 exact is paying $18. There's something fishy going on here.
How big are the pools? I mean,
10,000 in it.
Yeah, it's a minute to post. It probably won't change too dramatically, but it is Delta.
Yeah, I tell you, that 5-8 double has been absolutely murdered, and there's just value everywhere. I just don't know how to take advantage of it. I think I'm going to pull the K a little bit and wait for the next race.
I'm going to play an exacta here with the 3 and the 6.
Oh, this is how Josh goes broken one night.
This is how I go broken one night.
Yeah, I think. Oof, that double is just buried. It's almost
right.
Unplayable.
Well, that's my thing. That
but I feel like anyone who's not the 5, I think you're getting value in any other. I mean, $26 with the 3-8 or the 6-8 combination isn't great, but like I would take that. But yeah, it's getting $7 for a $2 bet on the 5-8 doubles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost debating just a straight 3-8 because I mean, the 3-8's paying 28. That feels about right.
Yeah, that feels. I mean, you're not super excited about it, but you're like, okay, I'm leveraging a 9-2
fine,
with probably an even money, and I'm getting $28 back. Like that feels fine.
I mean, man, I tell you what, judging by, yeah, well, it's odd that double is just so murdered in comparison to everything else, and in every other option going through the 8 and the next. So,
right. I mean, if you look at the doubles with the 4 in that next race, they're, generally like, 30% to 50%, better to the 4 than they are to the 8, except for the 5-8 combination where it's like 4 times, 400% better to the 4 than it is to the 8. Well, I just switched a little bit. It's like 3 times, but still it's a big discrepancy there.
Yeah.
So Josh, what you played 3-6 exacta?
Yeah, and I played a 3-6 to 8 double. I haven't even looked at the next race, but Mark loves this 8 so much. I'm going to make sure that if he cashes, I cash something. So
you're game theorying this now. I like
am. This is just a contest.
That's
Contest.
funny.
I mean, I can also mush your, Turfway plays.
Well, this is how it looked to set up. I mean, 3, 4, 5 sort of looked like they had to go. The 5's not quick enough to get the lead, but the question is, like, can he sit and pass? He hasn't really done it before. But
yeah, and how suicidal are they going to go on the front end here?
I don't know what's fast at Deltas. 23 doesn't feel like it's fast.
No, that's not that fast.
Maybe.
No, that's really not that fast.
Yeah, I mean, 6.5.
Well, the 6 just absolutely lost contact with the field, which is not what I wanted to see. How did he win last time?
This is where
I mean, he kind of lost contact with the field last time, but
boy, this one does look amazing.
I mean, they're pretty strung out. Like, it looks like it's fast, but
oh my God, here comes the 1.
Here comes the 1. Maybe the 2 can go up the fence and get wings and have 3 people take out the horses in front of him. Your 6 is like rediscovering contact with
all
the
right,
field.
come on, Pedro. Pretend that you're at Arlington.
Oh, this 5 is getting all sorts of brave here.
Mother effer, you too late.
Talk about a hang job. My God.
Pedro.
5 ended up getting it done after all that.
Yeah.
Man, you could have given me 10-1 on the 5 at the top of the stretch, and I wouldn't have taken it.
I wouldn't have taken it. No, same.
I thought he was going to run 5th.
The end of the backstretch when the 3 started fading, I went, oh, geez, this is going to completely come apart,
Well, I'm like, oh, my God, the 1 for sure looked like the horse. And then the 7, I'm like, oh, my. I mean, I think that the 5 switching outside here and forcing the 7 to duck inside is probably what won him the race there. I think if the 7 gets outside, he probably passes.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what the heck Pedro is doing.
Who's Pedro?
Pedro Cotto Jr., the guy, the jock on the 6.
Oh.
He was an Arlington jock, and he, like, literally his specialty is closers. If you even look at the PPs, he is a 10% jock. He's 17% on S types. He would just get these no hopers home, just closing on the Tapeta all the time, or the poly track. Sorry, but yeah, he just left himself way too much to do. If I look back at the PPs, I mean, he was, when he won, he was at second call, he was only 4 lengths off. He had to have been, 10, 12 lengths off at this point? Like, he wasn't even on the screen. I hate Delta.
I don't know how, for the sake of my pick 5, that 7 getting up probably would have been better, but...
Yeah, I was thinking of that, and I'm like, that's probably what would happen here, but... Shit, that's a tough beat if you had the 7 or anybody besides the 5.
Yeah.
But survive in advance. Give me all the chalk.
So you're right. This is how I go broke in one night.
You just bet every race. That's how,
yeah.
I don't have to beat you. I just have to outlast you.
There you go.
This is the fun games. I get out to a nice lead, and then Josh wants to chase me down so bad.
I'm just so certain that Mark's going to do it tonight. So I'm just like, I'm throwing everything I got.
Yeah, it's not that much.
All right, let's see. Race 7. Race 7 here at Turfway. We got Maiden 70K here. We got one first-time starter, the 7 Capella. Right now, your favorite is the 4 at 8-5. Scratch the 1, the 3, the 10, and the 14. So let's go ahead and...
So I actually love a horse in this race, and I might also go broke if these lines hold up to what they seem to be. I love the 6 in this race, and I thought he would drift down from that 8-1 line, and he has drifted up to 11-1. I mean, I could talk about this horse for 100 days, but to keep things quick, I love second-time starters. They win more than their fair share of races. They always have, arguably, not always, they generally have the biggest improvement of a horse's career will be between his first and second start. They get that experience. And this is a horse that looks like he needed experience, or she needed experience, rather. She totally blew the break, came out dead last by, 8 or 9 lengths. And in a race where the pace completely held together and the speed horses that were, 1, 2, 3, 4 finished 1, 3, 4, 5, this is the only horse to make up ground. yeah, I get it. She lost by 12 lengths, but there was an absolute monster on the lead that won by 10 lengths. So this horse was actually only a length and a half back from second. Second time out here, you're getting Asmussen, who I don't really love at Turfway, but compared to a lot of the other barns that are in this field, I would take a horse like that every day. And you're getting Walter Rodriguez with the weight break, who has had a couple of winners so far this meet. So I really like this 6. Hopefully gets out of the gate a little bit cleaner. But if so, look out if you get anything near 10-1, which I don't think you will, but we'll see what the odds do.
Yeah, so I actually am shocked at the price on this 9 in here. And I realize I'm going to the Corrales horse because that's how I roll. But you're getting that horse. The improvement with that last out start was just absolutely massive. At least as far as time form is concerned, and you're getting 6-1 on that horse. Corral is what 47% up for Maury. So this is a horse I thought would be cut in half off that line, and not one that was going to drift up quite a bit. So I thought that the 9 in here was actually super. Okay, here comes the money now. But immediately as I start talking about it, as it drifts down, but like full two full ticks now.
Yeah.
But I thought the 9 in here made just a ton of sense.
Is it crazy? Like, why is this 4 the favorite?
I don't really get that either, to be honest.
1 for 18 trainer, and you're getting. The horse didn't. It's not like there's a bunch of massive excuses of the first out start. It makes no sense for me unless this is the new Kentucky money.
Yeah, I don't really see it on the 4. I'm not sure like what I'm missing. It's Ramos, I guess, who's Corrales started off on fire. He's kind of disappointed on quite a few big favorites last week or so. Ramos probably has been the guy lately, but still, it's hard to think that that's justification for making this horse, 8-5 off of a debut where he didn't do much running. And, I don't get it. A barn that has not really been successful so far this meet here.
So the other 2 horses, and if you're trying to get something in, Josh, just cut me off. But I thought both the 11 and 12 in here. The 11 at a bit bigger of a price. I realize Ian Wilkes is terrible with 2-year-olds and not a great synth trainer either. But I thought this one had pedigree that kind of says that should handle the synth going. That to me looks like a little bit of a turfier pedigree. And they tried a couple of times on dirt, and the horse was beaten pretty badly, but. Honestly, in comparison to this field, this doesn't. I don't think there's any monsters in here. So I thought somebody like the 11 or the 12, both for sort of similar reasons. Maybe getting on a different surface will perk them up a little bit. Both made quite a bit of sense here.
And we haven't even talked about the first time starter, the 7 for Brad Cox with Fernando de la Cruz aboard. Fired 2 bullets at Turfway. And is, coming here. I know Brad Cox has only been hitting at 6%, but it's only a matter of time, right?
Yeah, as somebody who routinely loses to high-profile connections at low prices, these are the ones that I like to try to beat. When you get these high-profile barns that are in a slump or that are at a track, like Asmussen at where is he? Fairground? Or where's Asmussen like 0 for 20 at? Is it Delta maybe? Is that what
Delta.
it is, Mark?
Yeah,
when you get connections, high profile connections take money that are in a slump, or you can kind of tell they're not sending their best. I look to play against them. This is Brad Cox's barn has not been good here. Fernando has not been good anywhere, and in general, Cox is a lot better second time out than first time. The pedigree's there, but I thought that horse would take more money though. It's hard to be like, oh, I hate this horse when he's sitting there at 4 or 5-1. But he's not for me though. I think the 6 or potentially even like the 9 or a few others in here are more interesting.
So the one thing with the 7 though, the works really kind of do jump off the page. 1 of 12, 1 of 22. 2 of 23, all across the surface. Seems like that horse has been working very, very well for the Cox barn.
And it is a Jugmont homebred, so this horse is clearly means business.
What are the will pays looking like here?
You think you would just get a real jockey to ride though?
Man, the double will pays tell a way different story. The double will pays have the 7 slammed.
Yeah.
The 12 is the favorite in the pick 3 with the 7 just behind it. So either there's not any money in the win pool or someone's fucking around. There's 27 grand and there's not really much in there. So basically all the late money's probably going to come in on the 7, and he's already going down. I kind of saw the race the same way you did, Mark, with the 9 and the 12. I know that's the two kind of forwardly placed horses. I have a theory on synthetic that as it warms up, it tends to play more forwardly placed, and as it cools down, when it's icy, closers tend to do a little bit better. That was definitely the case on the old surface. I don't know so much about the new surface. Really, I haven't.
I feel like Papo has the opposite opinion. I don't play enough synthetic to have an opinion, but I've heard enough that I don't know that there's really a theory there. But I mean, if it works for you, like I totally endorse it. But it's funny because I feel like I've heard the opposite quite a bit on Twitter and whatnot.
Really? No, I mean, when it got frigid, that's when those outside closers just kept on winning. But
And maybe there's a difference like between like frigid versus just like, cool versus hot, talking more like Woodbine or whatever else. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's like 50. I think it's like 50 degrees still in Kentucky. Like that's what it is here. I mean, I assume that Kentucky's probably somewhat similar. So I don't know. And I mean, connections aside, I mean, Corrales and Maury, I mean, at 5-1, and Alex Achard, I think he got off the snide today. So him for Stidham. I just thought that these were going to be your kind of like forwardly placed horses, and I thought that there's a shot that they might finish 1-2. I think I might just do a little 7, 9, 12 box here. Take the first time starter here and use the 9 and the 12. But we're going to take a look here at probables and see if that's even like a profitable play here. 7 9's 24, 7 12's 42. I mean, I've made worse bets.
I'm definitely making a play here. I just need to wait to see how the odds eventually shake out.
Yeah. John Massey's saying Judmont at Turfway, ? Jay asking about the 2. He says, what's wrong with the 2? The 2, Luna Moth with Roymes Chirinos? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Coming in from Churchill, shipping in for Mark Sims, who's 1 for 4 on the meet so far. Briz figure looks decent. Might be a little slow for the class, but a little bit of improvement puts him right there. Doesn't really seem to have much turf pedigree. What's the AW Tomlinson looking like there, Mark?
There's no AW Tomlinsons. That's not a thing.
They just made it, actually, I think.
I'm seeing empty brackets then if they did.
Interesting.
Maybe there's not enough data, maybe.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen A.W. Thompson, unless that was like a misprint.
Yeah, well, Ransom the Moon, I think, is a freshman sire or sophomore sire, so there might just not be enough data.
Yeah, none of the horses in this race have them, so.
Well, then maybe it's not updated. But I know I saw on Twitter I saw someone say that they were rolling out synthetic Tommy figs.
I will say that the nice thing about that too is it does go into Caleb's theory there with these, maidens second time out. They often take big jumps forward, and those are the kind of horses that you get value on. You're definitely getting value on a horse that just maybe needed that second start.
Yeah,
you saw nothing DRF.
So I've been talking to Pops lately, and he's convinced that Churchill shippers have been doing outstanding at Turfway. I haven't really paid attention, so I can't confirm that. I did happen to glance through and see that the last 2 winners were Churchill shippers, although they were relatively short prices. But yeah, that might be something to, if you're kind of looking at this, this horse here. Actually, another Churchill shipper. There's a lot of them in the races, but they've won at least 3 races today.
Caleb, this 6 has got the best synth Tommy number. It's a 391.
There we go. Yeah.
How'd you get them to appear?
I don't know.
4 Churchill shippers have won already. That's crazy. Give your 2 a look.
The DRF PPs I just downloaded had them.
Really?
Under synth, yeah. Synth, there's a little number. Maybe try downloading it.
Okay. That would be interesting. Let me try that.
Could you imagine that the downloaded one works, but the web one doesn't have it? That'd be so funny.
The Beast of Horse Racing.
All right. I'm going to fire some dumb wagers here.
So I put 50 to win on the 6.
Okay, not as dumb as that. But I got a $5 box here. We're going to go 7, 9, 12.
No, this would be peak us if Caleb somehow wins this tonight.
And then I got $1 trifecta box. 6, 7, 9, 12.
I mean, I'm terrible at Turfway, so I'm quite certain I'm probably wrong here. I get it with the 9. You're going from a 2% jock to a 37% jock. Like, there's something to be said for that. But I don't get how you watch that race, and that's not the horse I want out of that race. I mean, he had a slow pace. Yeah, the pace held together, and the 6 launched a huge run to get beat a length and a half. Like, to me, I mean, the horse I want out of that is the 6. I mean, yeah, the connections, maybe Corrales works the magic and he gets him home here. It wouldn't surprise me, but, and at 5 to 1, the horse isn't so short that I'm like against him. But to me, the 6 is the horse that you want out of that race. But it looks like the favoritism is bouncing all over the place. It looks like it's gone from the 4 to the 12 to the 7. And now it looks like it's back on the 12.
So Lloyd's saying don't bet post 10 and outside and maidens. You go broke real quick. Luckily, there are 3 horses scratched in front of him, so that 12 is breaking out of the 9 hole.
Josh, did you like it in the last race at Turfway?
I have not.
I was going to play pick 4 and just mush your last picks, but now I can't. I don't know the last race done.
Yeah, they're off. I probably would have gone with like the 5, which is the favorite, I'm guessing. Yeah, 5 to 2.
Well, 6 is at the rear, but at least he sort of got out of the gate, so the Cox horse flash speed.
And the Cox horse went off
He
favorite.
did take the money, so my horse might just be too good. We'll see.
Looks like Corrales is going to soften him up, though.
Oh, that's what I need.
Or they're going to run 1, 2 all the way across, and that 6 is going to get up for 3rd, and I hit the try. All right, Don, you're way too loud.
I mean, Turfway is also a track I don't have a good feel for fractions. I can't tell if they're going quick up front or if anyone except for the top 2 are just terrible horses. $47-2 doesn't feel like it's slow, though.
I think the 7 is gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing it pretty easy.
Yeah, and Corrals is working this.
He's
9
asking 9.
Yeah.
Here comes
his 12.
What's the other horse they bet?
All right, I need this 9 to take out like half the field.
Apparently, jockey doesn't matter, Caleb.
Apparently, it
come
doesn't.
on, I need the 6 to get a rocket.
A Juddmonte monster.
Man, I should have listened to Jay. This 2.
Yeah, 2 at 26 to 1 and 3rd is not bad. 6 just did not have it. But life goes on.
So what was that? 7-12?
Yeah.
7-12.
So I'll get 2.5 1. My 30 will pay 75. No, it's better than the kick in the face. Better than the knee to the crotch. No. All right, Mark. So what are you doing with this 8?
I'm not sure what I'm doing with the 8. I'm sort of watching the board at the moment, waiting for a little more money to get into the pool. I mean, 8's going to be a single on everything for me. But I'm not sure what I'm doing into the next quite yet. I have a horrible feeling that Caleb and I are both trying to do the same thing.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's chalky. Like the 8's the only horse that I really had interest in this race. He was a
8's
stone
low
cold
speed.
Yeah, I mean, he's a stone cold single for me in my pick 5, which probably can't be worth anything given the results that have come in so far. But in the last race, I think the 5 looks tough. It was also a favorite. But that might be the horse I try to beat. Like I have him in my pick 5 as an A. What I'm going to try to do, I think, is double into the 8 next race who did less than 0 running in debut, but goes out for a trainer who has all the bells and whistles second time out. The jockey Bethany Taylor is according to Timeform 28% when she gets up for Lonnie Brealey. Comes out of a key race with 3 next out winners. Like, I get it, the horse didn't run a step, but that trainer I don't know the trainer, but does not have good numbers first time out, has really good numbers second time out, and really good numbers on the drop. Last 3 times she's dropped, she's won, or he was won. I don't know. Lonnie, is that a boy's name? But anyway, that's a horse that I think, I'll get much more fair odds on compared to the 5s. That's kind of the horse I want to double into. Because I'm probably going to get something like 3 or 4 to 1 doubling into the 5 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm playing a pretty similar structure to what you're doing. I'm going to be Dutching an 8 over 258 double. But
those are 3 horses I might pick 5.
Yeah,
exactly
that's the same.
My pick 5.
Those are the same 3 I have in my pick 5. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to be getting live into. The 2 is the only horse that Caleb didn't mention there, and that is a trainer who happens to be 20% first off the trainer switch. Putting up a absolutely terrible jock, but it's hard to ignore that 20% figure. And I don't really, coming out of much, much better races, I realize the claiming level isn't a ton higher, but, a Churchill 20 or a Keeneland 30 are going to be much better than a, maiden 20 at Delta. And I also think probably the cutback probably helps that 2 a little bit, who has shown some speed and stopped previously. So, those are the 3 horses that I want, and just need to figure out how I get paid.
So I made the 2 a B on mine. I have the 5 and 8 both as A's. What did you make out of so Chasey Pommier, I don't know, Pommier, the trainer anyway, has 2 in here, the 2 and the 6. And the first call jockey, Vicente Del Cid, gets up on the 6, who he's ridden before, but that horse just doesn't look very good at all. Whereas the 2, in my opinion, looks arguably like the horse that at least has more. Like, I like the 2 better than the 6. I didn't use the 6 anywhere, but the better jock and the more regular jock ends up on the 6. Did you make anything out of that, or don't care?
No, honestly, it scared the crap out of me, because when Del Cid gets up for that trainer, he's 37% over the past 5 years, which is a pretty gaudy stat. But the thing is, he's been up on this horse before. The horse did absolutely no running the first 2. Went to another jock, also did completely no running. So I get that, he's getting his go-to up, but it just to me felt like the jock needed to ride, and hey, I'll give you some other good ones down the road, and let's throw you up here. To me, the 2 looked like the horse that you wanted out of that barn. So yeah, again, it did scare me. I agree with where you're coming from. That, boy, that looks interesting. But I just couldn't get there. I just absolutely couldn't get to the 6. The horse hasn't run a step.
Yeah, I didn't like
I
it
actually
either,
kind of
but-
like the 6. So
Well, Josh likes the cheap speed. Color me
Yep.
surprised.
If I thought the 6 could get loose, maybe this is a horse that just desperately needs the lead. But I think the 2's faster on paper. So I don't know. I don't know what the game is here. I honestly don't know.
we got no scratches, and all the rest, the 3
The
scratch.
3 scratch in that last race. I think the 6 does get out there, but he's gotten out there before and just doesn't really stay there.
What about the 1? Any interest in the 1, the first time starter?
Not really for me. I don't really like Broberg first time starters. This is also an Arkansas bred horse that he didn't even think was worth shipping to Oaklawn to run for extra purse money. That kind of tells me this horse probably isn't super live if he doesn't even bother shipping it into Oaklawn for pretty easy, pickings and state bred. So I didn't care for it, but it's a hungry field. It wouldn't totally surprise me.
All right, I got to figure out how much money I need to put into this pool to screw.
Yeah, well,
his payout.
Mark certainly has enough money to Dutch the 5 with the 2 5-8 and break 1,000. I think. I mean, if he's willing. I don't know. I mean, the 5-8 or the 8-5 double. It's going to take a lot of money to get 300 out of that. It's actually not as short as I thought, to be honest.
I mean, I can actually do it with a Dutch that's not that expensive.
I mean, the 8-5 is paying 15 for 2 right now. That's paying more, like twice as much as the 5-8 double we looked at last race. And in my opinion, this is a much more likely combination to come in.
I'm trying to think how I beat this.
Did AM Wager take away Dutch payout? I can only do Dutch cost now? What the hell? I have to yell at my local
function very often. So
I never use it, and I
think it's a good time to hit him with the AM Wager sign up as you're bitching about the service.
I'm not bitching about the service. I'm bitching about the fact that they tried to clean up their interface, and occasionally they take away something that I use. Literally, the last time I used a Dutch payout was the last time we ran this stupid tournament.
Dude, did you guys see the comment on our last drink and champagne?
Yeah.
How one of you was very confident, one of you was very too unsure.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was the unsure one.
Oh no, you know which one you are.
I mean, I know I'm the unsure one, but it's I wish I was unsure, when it came to putting money through the window, because the way I put money through the window, I put money through the window like I'm the most confident man alive. So
yeah.
How do I beat this 8?
The 4 or the 5 would be where you would go.
I was looking at the 2.
That's my C. So.
Oh, I was looking at the 2. Courtly Doc here. Jose Guerrero for Eric Nelson Jr. Huge improvement last out, but still came second by a neck to Final Quest. Is that your? No, that's the 5, who's also in here. Lightly raced with, I believe, graded stakes winning jockey Thomas Pompel, right?
He won that race at Keeneland, right?
With that
Homestead.
I think it was a graded stakes, right?
I don't know if it was a graded stakes or a listed stakes, but it was the Delta horse.
Oh boy. Mark is firing a $200 structured double that looks like it's going to pay about $800.
All right,
I gave myself a little
fudge
factor.
You mushed the 8-2 combination. I'll mush the 8-5 combination. Yep. Chat, we need you to mush the 8-8 combination.
Jay asking if Caleb is giving up turf marathons for New Year's.
Why would I give up my favorite type of racing and all of horse racing?
Especially now that all your horses are retiring, so you have a whole new crop to learn and hate.
Did Channelmaker retire?
Don't they have to mandatory retire at some age?
At 10. At they do, but I think he's 9.
He's only 9? I thought he turned 10 or was turning 10.
Javon saying Josh is inside this time. Yeah, my internet works finally. It's completely different. It's completely different. I have the window open because it's so hot in my room. It's I looked at the thermostat and it was like 72 in here, or not the thermostat. I looked at my humidor thermometer and it said it was 72 up here, or the humidor 72. So I figure it's probably even a little bit warmer out here. So.
Yeah, just for those people playing along at home, I have an 8-2 double for $48, an 8-5 double for $121, and an 8-8 double for $30. Which should give me, obviously the lines are going to move a little bit. Should give me that 850 to 875 range.
I'm firing $20 on this too.
I'm gonna wait last second, but I'm probably just gonna have to. I can't do anything because if Mark hits, I can't win. Or if I hit, Mark also hits rather. So, what's my balance? I went 50 in. So, wait, I had a $50 win bet. Why do I? Did I fuck up my bet? and get lucky. Weird.
All right. I bet I put 20 to win on this 2, and I played a $10 double 2 with the 5, 6, 8. If it comes 2-8, I win.
I moved my bets to Twin Spires. That's what it is. I moved my bet to Twin Spires, and I got I had a deposit bonus of $20, and I'm like, where'd this $20 come from? Like, so
Look at
I'll
this.
be $20 less than whatever I end with. I'm trying to figure out where that came from. Anyway, sorry. Josh,
So Ryan, I had a good opening day. I ended up hitting the late pick 5, which was nice. But I honestly spent way too much money to hit it for giving what it paid. I don't know, but then that was the only wager I fired because I just capped it and was like, I don't want to cap something and not apply it. How'd you guys do?
I did awful.
Opening day of what? Sorry.
Santa Anita.
Yeah, no good for me either.
I had a couple of good opinions, like that 9 horse, that Frankie Dettori horse, that won down the hill. But obviously, I tried to beat a couple of short prices, and you know how that goes at Santa Anita.
Yeah, I was mostly right, but the times I was wrong, I was very wrong.
Jay's all over this 8 here. He's got an 8-1-7 exacta.
Yeah.
He's got a double, an 8-7-8 double here.
So I played a $50 8-8 double. I'm trying to see what that does to the probable or the well pays, but hopefully it does enough to screw Mark so he doesn't hit if it comes in. Oh, if that tick is right, it barely moved the line.
Yeah, I moved it a little bit, but not a ton.
And then I wanted to see how much time do we have for like going in the gate.
Yeah, 8-8 doubles paying 28.
Yeah, I was gonna do an 8. Nah, it's not worth anything. I was gonna look at an exacta to leverage the 8 up a little bit more, but I had the 4, 5, and 1 as horses to use underneath. The only one of those is worth anything is the 1. So I'll try an 8-1 exacta as well for $20.
You probably can't get it in. They're off.
Oh damn, just got shut out. Well, we'll see. I'll probably save money.
Ryan was having.
Oh, 8 comes out dead fucking last and does not look happy.
Oh well.
Is that your lone speed horse?
Yep.
When your lone speed horse breaks last.
And now he's gonna rush him up like a freaking idiot, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got to go like 7 wide.
Oh,
look at this 9.
Yeah, 7 wide. Now he's getting
9.
that
Bump him
photograph
out.
number up.
Get
That's
him
what
out
you
of
like
there.
to see. This is the kind of race where he's going to look real threatening on the backstretch, and he'll be like in second place, turning for home, and then remember he just had to run twice as far as everybody else, and he'll fade to obscurity.
Oh, and then now my 2 is like 3 wide here, but he's
like the whole action on this 8 just doesn't look right. I mean, this horse doesn't
already gone to the whip,
comfortable at all.
Going to the whip already.
Camejo is a guy I'm not sure how to handle a lot of his horses. He had a great Saratoga, but it seems like he's cooled off a lot since.
My 2 looks like he's already done.
Well, looks like the 8-1 Perfecta's got odds of about 700 to 1 from here.
Oh.
It's actually involved now, but
it doesn't matter. He's got no shot from there.
He has no shot from here, I don't think.
Damn, I should have gone with the 4.
Jeez, what a terrible ride.
Damn, I should have gone with the 6.
I mean, it felt like the horse should have been shorter to me. I'm like, even money, this horse should be 2 to 5. Like, and it felt funny. So I guess easy come, easy go. When it looks too good to be true, it probably is. I wouldn't have the 6 anyway, though. So I guess there's some redemption in that.
Did you see Ryan Howard was having the Keeneland Saratoga problem at Santa Anita?
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for Caleb's response there. I was like,
yeah, that is it's a good problem to have.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw a lot of Baffert horses win on opening day for sure. I don't know. People are crowning that Faustin horse as the next Derby winner. I'm not impressed yet, but I do think he's certainly going to improve when he stretches out. We talked about that a little bit on Monday.
Oh, man. The only solace I have is that Mark was even wronger than I was.
Oh, I was very wrong. Very, very wrong. You might be
Yeah.
ahead of me now. Christ.
If I was gonna place, I almost threw season that race, which I would have used 1, 4, and 5. I don't think I ever get to the 6.
No, I never get to the 6. I had the 4 and the 5 as Bs, and the 2 is a C.
I mean, I guess if you're an optics player, that 6 was a big ass square right in the middle of the chart, but that 8 was a big ass square in the top left of the chart. So theoretically, that square is supposed to beat this square. But when you come out dead last, oh, that's Josh's jockey Pedro. Thanks for that ride.
I told you he's good on closers, so he turned the lone speed.
He turned it into a closer.
He Rosario'd it to the nth degree.
Oh, man, I'm down to what do I have left here? $52 from 150 that we started with, so we're on a good pace.
It's all right. Well, I'll give you the $20 bonus.
No, that was after I factor out the $20 bonus. It's technically 72 with, but
Yeah, we'll give you the $20 bonus.
How much time till Turfway?
We got 10 minutes here till Turfway. We got a full field here. The also eligible 13 draws in with the scratch of the 1 here. So we got 12 horses here. Caitlin Free likes a 2. I don't know why, because I have her muted. And I got
sales ring.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I got to send her a message because she's got to do something about that lighting. So, yeah. So it looks like our favorite here is the 11 Quaria Comet, currently sitting at 7-2. So if you like anybody in the spot, you're gonna find something here. That's the Paulo Lobo horse with Joe Ramos getting the board here. Broke its maiden at Kentucky Downs, came back at Keeneland, finished 4th in a turf race, turf sprint, and is now coming here to the second greatest Kentucky track after Kentucky Downs, which is Turfway
Second.
Park. Yeah, Kentucky
sure
Downs, then Turfway,
Keeneland?
then
Keeneland?
Churchill Downs, then Keeneland.
Well, Josh is so bitter from Keeneland from the Brewers Cup.
Every once in a while, I'll just be sitting here, right, and just whatever, zoning out, and I'll just like think about your dad getting that watered down Coke and smile. It's just like one of those things that just pops in my head every once in a while when I'm just like sitting here just minding my own business, and it's like, oh, there's this Coke and water.
That is hilarious.
You had to have been there because he gets it and he's just completely unassuming. He's just like, I got my Coke. He takes a sip. He's just he makes a comment. He's like, well, I guess he didn't bring my water. And he takes a sip, and then he kind of looks like he's questioning his life after taking the sip because he doesn't know what he just tasted, and he just like stares, like he makes eye contact with me, and I'm just like this. Just shaking my head. And I'm like, you know what that is, right? He's like, no. And I'm like, you asked for a Coke and a water. So he brought you a Coke and water. And then it took like a second for it to register in his brain. And then all of a sudden, dude, the eyes roll, like backflips in his eyes. And the guy comes back and he's like, just bring me a Coke, please.
I love it.
And like I said, if we didn't spend so much freaking money on those tickets, it wouldn't have been a problem, right? But the fact that it's like, man, that much, and I think that was also like I think it's the guy who runs Wasabi was super, super vocal about similar things, and I think it was kind of the same thing, right? Like, I mean, I think the people at our table were fun, and that was fun. It was a great time. The food was decent enough, but I mean, I thought some of the best parts of it was us just mingling in GA with Matthew and with Sarah and with Caitlin and all the Discord guys. So it was just like, yeah, it was just funny, but. Yeah, John Massey says he personally enjoys crushing Indiana Downs while at Saratoga. So John Massey may in fact be your father as well.
He that is a classic Terry Knight move right there.
Man. That was so funny.
Oh,
I also
boy.
think it's just so funny that your dad insists on buying a DRF when he uses Brisnet all the rest of the time.
He just needs a paper form. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a physical form.
Dude, next time if we do Keeneland again, like I'm just gonna drive down with my printer. I'm just gonna load the printer up. It's a laser printer. I'll load the printer up in the back seat, and we'll get him Brisnets printed out. Because, dude, do you remember when the first time we went to Keeneland? He comes back and he's like, "Do you know how much I just paid for these 2 forms?" He's like, "Because he needed like Santa Anita or something else in the other forms," and he was like $23 or something insane. Because he had to buy he bought the day and the night one.
Oh yeah, they're so expensive. If you get the PM form, which has like all the tracks plus like your AM form or whatever, yeah, it's like 12 and 8 plus tax. So yeah, it's probably like $22-23 for like a fucking newspaper.
Yeah, John Massey saying Caleb's dad was just handing out winners like hotcakes from Indiana.
He was too.
Oh, were you guys able to meet up with John Massey last time?
Yeah, he came in for a day.
Yep, nice. Yeah,
had a good time.
another thing I missed.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, I know. I saw the picture.
I don't think we made too much money, but fun was had. Well, I didn't make too much money. I had a couple of heartbreaks, but that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't have great days there either. But
man, this Corrales horse is not taking any money, huh?
Yeah.
10 rings, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think Corrales is a fade right now. Like he's really not getting that bet, but he has not won much lately. But also, that horse 10 rings, like I don't want a horse on the rail sprinting at Turfway, and I am like notoriously skeptical of Los Al figs. I just think they're terrible and like always way too high. So, it's Jonathan Wong. I get it. Like, yeah, this horse clearly is somewhat well meant here, but for me, I mean, I don't know how fast he really ran because it's a fake Los Al fig, and then he didn't do anything at Del Mar, so I don't know what to do with him. He could certainly win, but at 702, I didn't like him. I don't know that I'm gonna have an actual bet here though. The 2 horses I liked the best in this race were the 8 and the 11. And I might be convinced to bet the 8 if I'm actually going to get 8-1 here. I think that's a completely fair price. Like I said, Churchill Shippers have been doing very well. Thomas Van Berg, 3 starters and 3 winners. It feels like there's a couple of trainers that have very limited starters, but they've always shown up. I think William Cowens is another one here at Turfway who's like 6 for 8 or something on the meet so far. So this is a horse that I think kind of fits in this spot. He's handled, although not won, over the synthetic in the past. And I think he kind of fits in here off his last race at Churchill. So he's one that I'm interested in at this price, 8-1 Northern Diamond. Yeah, John Massey remembers the heartbreak in the pick 5. That was tough. I just saw the comment.
Interesting. This is an interesting race.
Also, Mark, at Delta, the pick 5 to our 8 horse is 32,000.
Yep, looks like a capper.
Which is
in a
just completely illogical considering it was like 3 big favorites and then like a medium, like 2 medium priced horses, like 4-1. Yep. Just like absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, to the 5, the pick 5 is like 600 or something. So there's a huge discrepancy there. But
I'm shocked that the 8 is paying. But sometimes these payouts are just.
Yeah, I think it's just a function of the pool sizes. I mean, a lot of people probably singled that 8 horse last race like we did. Yep. And then the people that didn't probably had to single this 5 here. So, I mean, it doesn't totally surprise me. That's the nice thing about playing pick 5s at these tracks that get kind of smaller pools is you can get some overlays like that.
It's one of those things where people always get excited about mandatory pools, about what pool is guaranteed to have a certain amount of money. And actually, if you're somebody looking if you're an ABC style player, or even I don't know if you ABC'd it or not, Caleb, but you can very often find these sort of sequences where you play a shallower pool and you have a larger chance to pot scoop with one or two outside the favorite type horses. I mean, I do say that 6 in the last was fairly hard to have. I have a hard time getting there, but
I mean, I personally have a hard time getting there, but that's probably more as a function of how I felt about the 8, more so than how I felt about the 6.
that's true as well. I mean, the horse did like Delta, which is.
I mean, the horse liked Delta. I mean, 3 of the 4 wins came there.
Yep.
And albeit the last 2 were at Delta and didn't really, show
All right,
up.
I'm
So.
firing.
Show up. So
I might bet this 8. I only got like $50 left, so I don't know how I want to do it.
I got a trifecta box with a 9, 11, 12, 13. And I got the 11, 12 over the 9, 11, 12, 13 exacta. And then I got 20 to win on this 12. Richie's Noble Girl for Jose D'Angelo. The horse has got a ton of experience on synthetic. Is coming here on the cutback. Jose D'Angelo is 27% first start with the trainer. So, see if we get. I know he got claimed off Martin Drexler, so I don't know how much of an improvement, but I think that last fig fits in this field here. So, if we get something similar or even a slight improvement, I think we're cooking here and we're posted outside. So,
well, Josh has 2 150 jockeys in his trifecta box, so with Vinny and Chirinos or whatever his name is. But yeah, I ended up taking 20 to win on the 8 and just a $5 exacta box, 8-11, just to cover it a little bit in reverse. I don't see the 11. Is it okay? He's in third. I didn't see him.
I love how their Trackus isn't even close.
I know. Like I look at the Trackus and I look up to try to find my horse, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
So confused.
11 looks awful good.
Yeah.
Your 13 might have a bitter run, Josh, but
your 8's getting a brutal trip.
Oh my God. That's happened so much at Turfway this year, it feels like, they just get floated out and then shut off in the turn so much. Like there's so many bad jockeys here that don't know how to, time a move.
wow, Vinny, you really aren't even going to get up for wow.
Vinny, nobody in this jockey colony has done less with more than Vinny. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, if you took the average odds of the horses he rides that went off, like, it's unreal how bad he's been.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
Granted, I mean, he has hit the board a lot. I'll give him credit there, but...
What was that, 11-4?
Yeah, the 4 made sense.
Yeah, the 4 made a ton of sense. The 12 was not
that last
involved.
fig was big. I just didn't want to jockey exacta like that.
Well, that's what got me bourbon.
So it doesn't. Mark, how much money do you have left?
I have 488 right now.
I'm kind of hoping you can just win. I don't want to play Turfway anymore.
I want to just cash out the last $100 I have in here.
Yeah, I'll just fire the last 40 at this point.
Oh, I still got 224. Never mind.
I thought you were lower than that. Oh no, you hit that exacta earlier, huh?
Yeah, I only paid like $75, but basically. But yeah, I mean, I had $62 through that race.
Sean Massey's so correct. I'm sorry, Josh. Finish your thought.
No, you're fine. Appropriate for a jockey riding for Cass because no trainer does less with more than he.
As our friend Sheldon would say, he would adamantly agree with that. Our resident Canadian.
Yeah, John Massey here saying he was also on the 12. So, man. Well, maybe Mark can just put 100 to win on this 8. Just finish up nice and neat here, and then I'll put 250 to win on the 8.
And then I'll put 25 to win on the 4.
It's one of those things I feel like I should be firing at Turfway, but I just don't trust myself there. That track is just very, very hard for me.
I mean, I've really liked 2 horses today, and they've both ran terribly. So Like from our Discord friends, have made an absolute killing just today. I mean, $25,000 score, $10,000 score. I mean, just absolutely crushed it. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for them, but I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
Dude,
The track makes just no sense.
I've been secretly trying to reverse engineer off of like winning tickets. Like I'll take them back and I'll like look and I'm just like trying to figure it out and I'm
Yeah, it's hard because you generally only see the winning ticket, and these people play multiple tickets, so you don't really see the whole process. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's like in the first race today at Turfway, you had a horse that won that was 2 for 39, and he won it like 5-1, and it's like that's probably a horse I'm never gonna have. But he was a single for half the people in the Discord, so like maybe this just my rules don't work here.
a little bit of inside baseball. I also singled that horse because I saw who singled that horse in the Discord. I was live. I had $2. So it was funny. I was sitting here and I had $2 left in my Express Bet account, and I was just like not feeling depositing to play anything today. I was just like, and I was just like gaming and kind of just taking because I knew that I was gonna go for it tonight. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna save our energy for tonight. And so I had $2 left. So I single that horse in the first leg. I go 3 wide in the second leg, and I single a horse in the last leg. And sure enough, I'm live. And in the last leg, it seemed like everyone in the Discord was on the 1 and the 7, and the 7 had Corrales. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to single one of these guys, it's going to be the 7. Sure enough, the 1 wins, and that would have been 100-1. 100-1 on my $1.50 bet, 50-cent base. So
I know you and I have talked about it before, Josh, and I'm very much a believer that like if you're willing to put 250 to 300 into the pick 5, with multiple tickets, like then play the pick 5. But if you're really not, that like I think the pick 3s at Turfway are the way to go because you can have a lot of spread. You can make a $50 or $60 structure where your all A structure might be $18. Press it once or twice and then kind of have the rest of your tickets for the remaining 30 or 40. And they still pay like ridiculous, like hundreds of dollars. Like it's the easiest way to get 10-1 of your money at any track, I think, if you can, manage to put it all together. But it's a very tough place for me to figure out. It seems like there's only about 5 jocks that consistently win here. And as someone like me who doesn't really play a ton of connections, that makes it tough.
just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Any huge hits here?
Oh, I really shouldn't do what I'm probably going to do here.
Good. I hope you do it.
Are you going to bet like $100 on this 8 at Delta, or are you going to do something stupid at Turfway?
Nah, something stupid at Delta.
10-1's 11-1's a good price on this 8.
Oh, you guys really like this 8, huh?
I mean, I don't. It's just looking for a value play that isn't the 5.
I'm going to go with the 6. I'm going to do the opposite of what Caleb doesn't do. Or I'm going to do what Caleb doesn't do. I'm going to bet this jockey.
That feels like betting the other Baffert, right?
I mean, that feels like a good strategy.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, play. And I had like 3 Bafferts in one race, and the
I
fourth
did too.
one boomed
and
me.
the other Baffert got me.
Yeah,
and he got me at like 5-2, which is the dumbest part of it all. That Fun to Dream or whatever his name was, that 6 horse. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything. I mean, I could bet this 8 to win, I guess.
Not with that attitude.
Well,
I got a 6. I got the 6 to win. I got 6 over 5-8 exacta, and I got 6 over 5-8 over 1-5-8 trifecta.
I mean, I respect that you're committed to the brand of the cheap speed, Josh.
I mean, if there's anywhere to be committed to the brand, it's Delta Downs, isn't it?
I would say so. I bet you if Dad was playing, he would have this 6. Okay, the exactas are actually phenomenal using the 8, so I might have to play something here at Delta.
By the way, I do have to appreciate Caleb. I feel like you're doing a better job of controlling your language tonight. So
I think I've only let it slip like 2 or 3 times.
yeah, good job.
But yeah, my language goes as my drinking goes. So
yeah. Well, at this point, there's no way anybody in the Knight household is still watching.
No, it's past their bedtimes.
There was a Caleb's dad was watching, I guess, last week, and he got I don't know if it was a text message or a phone call. It said, "Mom says not to swear so much."
Mom walks into the room as we're talking about something, and she's like, "It's like you guys are hard on jockeys." Also, Mom said, "Quit cussing." Both of which are probably fair points.
Oh, I think Mark just put a win bet in on the 6.
I did not. I'm gonna wait till they're a little closer to the gate. I think.
All right, let's get a bet in here. I'm gonna do a 8 over. How much money do I have? That's the question. All right.
Okay, 3 minutes to post. Let me see how much I move the exacta pools here.
The 6 is taking money. He's down to 2-1.
Just for anybody playing along at home, I'm playing a very Dutched 258 exacta box.
Yeah, I'm gonna play an exacta key box 8 with the 2-5.
Just because exactas seemed like the only thing where there was any value here.
You know what's gonna happen here is the 8's gonna win and like the 1's gonna run second.
Probably Josh's 6 will run second or something.
Well, if that happens, I think he would hit, and that won't happen. So, a 10 race card at Turfway tonight. It's a big card.
Yeah, and they're starting to run 2 pick 5s now too.
I saw that. That last race takes us past our normal cutoff. Are we still stopping at 9?
Yeah, we can stop at 9.
I mean, I didn't have any plays in the last race at Turfway.
Yeah. I honestly might just stream our League of Legends tonight.
Yeah, Stevenson will be on, so we'll wait on him.
Oh, he did?
No, he didn't, but he will be.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this race at Turfway. I mean, I thought this was felt like a super wide open affair that you could go a ton of different ways with. And looks like the board is somewhat agreeing with me.
I got a question for you because I see Good Flop posted something in chat. He said the surface at Turfway is the biggest issue. So many horses in every race with 0 all-weather form. It's a guessing game. Gulfstream getting that all-weather track. Do you think that does anything to all-weather racing? Do you see any other tracks installing it as a third surface? Like, for example, like, the rumor is that Aqueduct's going to get closed, right? Like they're going to get rid of it, and Belmont's going to do it. And there's been talk that Belmont's going to put in an all-weather track. So that means that there would be points in the year where they could probably run on all 3 surfaces, the turf, the dirt, and all-weather. Do you think that does anything? Like, do you think that, like, horse racing finally accepting the third surface, well, American horse racing finally accepting the third surface and treating it as such, as opposed to, I think, the heavy-handed approach that they did before, which is let's cancel dirt and just do all weather, right? I mean, I think this is the better approach. I don't mind all weather racing, and I think that, to Good Flop's point, more tracks doing it would help with that problem where it's like, hey, like we have horses that have never run an all weather frequently. I think Gulfstream's definitely helping. You see a couple times where Woodbine horses ship in, but I think another one or two more big tracks adding the third surface, I think would be really good for all weather racing. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it would help. I mean, you do have Golden Gate running on all weather as well, and they've been running on it forever, and that's just been a Golden Gate thing. So I don't. It's interesting. The Gulfstream experiment I find very, very, very interesting because you've actually seen a couple things. One thing, obviously, you're seeing Canadian horses shipping down to run on synthetic, tracks that they can get at Gulfstream. But you've also seen it's kind of hurt their racing product. I know they've said that they've lost volume because certain players don't like playing all weather, and they've seen decrease in handle on certain races because of it. You've also seen things like they've now are carting less turf races, and those better quality turf fields are shipping across the state to Tampa to run. So, would more tracks adopting it legitimize it? Yeah, I think that would legitimize it. Is it something that there's really enough market and warrants being legitimized? I don't know. Like, is there, I mean, do people really enjoy capping it? I know personally, I avoid tracks that have all weather because I just am terrible on it.
They're off a Delta, by the way.
And on brand, the 6 gets the lead.
Very much the lead. I'll answer your question in a second. I need more bourbon for that, though. This 8 has him right where he wants him. Any day now.
I need this 6 to.
I need this one to sneak up the rail for third.
Well, this 5 is a lot of horse, but the angle throws you off. I don't know how much he's really gaining.
No, 6
is going to keep kicking clear.
No, you're right, Caleb.
Win and exacta.
Oh, nice job, Josh.
Thank you.
I was being sarcastic. Anyway. No, seriously, good job. But yeah, I mean the jockey change, like it felt funny, right? I'm like,
yeah.
Why? If this horse wasn't somewhat well meant, why would this jock be on this horse instead of that other one? To be fair, she filled out, 2/3 of the try. So,
question for you: what is the 6-5 exacta payout? Because I can never figure it out on Twin Spires because they don't mark which side's first. 7? Okay. So 70 plus 7. So I'll get 140 off that.
That's a good hit.
All right, so let's talk about all weather, Caleb.
Weirdly enough, the 6-5 combination was the favored exacta combination, even over the 5-6.
That was.
At any rate, I mean,
because
in general, I don't
line.
mind all weather. It's not my favorite surface to handicap. I would agree with whoever was in chat. Good flop. That's like, oh yeah, it's like really hard to deal. Like, I don't mind all weather as long as the horses in the race have form on all weather. At that point, I don't really mind it. Because I can still handicap it similar to how I would any other race. I do think it's really tough when you have these abbreviated meets or boutique meets or whatever else, and you have a lot of shippers, like you get at Turfway, where half of any given field has never run on synthetic before, and that's really hard. So I don't like handicapping those kind of races. I try to avoid those races where there's not that much all-weather form. As far as whether I think it's a good thing Gulfstream adopted the synthetic and whether Belmont does, I don't know. I mean, I think it makes sense that Gulfstream adopted it because they run year-round now that they've closed Gulfstream Park West. And their turf course in those, Florida summers and all the rain they get that just cannot hold up to year-round racing. So, like, it totally makes sense that they adopted a all-weather surface. If Belmont does in fact close Aqueduct, and then they run 8 months out of the year or 9 months out of the year, I mean, would it make sense for them? I don't know. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't. I wouldn't be for it nor necessarily against it. I wouldn't want to see it at the expense of less turf racing. I'll say that much. But if it's an alternative surface to run during the winter as an addition to dirt during the winter duct, then yeah, I mean, I might not hate that. Yeah, John does bring up a good point though, as far as yeah, adding that additional surface kind of makes a narrower track and results in some tight turns and limited field sizing. So that is a bummer. I would hate to see our field size issues get extrapolated even worse.
Come on, if there's any place that has room for a third surface,
It would be Belmont.
It'd be
You're right.
Belmont. Come on.
I do sort of agree with Road Warrior though here that closing the duct would be a shame. I really do enjoy the duct quite a bit, and as being somebody who has just never really loved handicapping Belmont, it's my least favorite Naira track. So I would be very, very sad to see the duct go.
World War, I hope they never open the third floor for you. It stays closed forever.
I would miss Aqueduct. I agree.
Oh man. All right. Well, we got our last race for the night here. We got Turfway Park, race 9. We got well, I thought this Doug O'Neill horse, the 13 that drew in, was going to be the favorite, but apparently Paulo Lobo and Gerardo Corrales on the 4 graphic detail are going to be the are sitting at 5-2 here. Bill Mott horse that went to the Paulo Lobo barn ran second in a 6.5 furlong allowance here a couple weeks back, and coming right back to the same condition, going a mile. So sitting at your favorite here at 5-2. Caleb, did you have anything here?
In a contest bet, no, I'm not going to have anything here. I did play a little pick 3 on my own account here that I started last race, where I used the 8 and the 11, so I did get the 11 there. I had a bunch of horses here. I had the 1, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12. So I left off the 2 favorites. I thought they were sort of both vulnerable. With the 13, really both of the favorites I'm lightly against based on the distance here. If I'm playing a pick 5, I probably don't leave them off. But in a pick 3 that's for action, I'm fine if they beat me. The 13, I hate the post. I really don't like those super deep outside posts going a mile. And as far as the distance goes, I mean, it seems like he's better going much longer. I'm not really sure that a cutback of 5 furlongs is just what the doctor ordered here. I don't understand the placement at all. So this is a horse from that post that I'm okay with letting him beat me. If he gets back to either of his last, 3 races, he probably does, but that's okay. The 4 horse is the one who really, I think he's probably better shorter. Kind of the opposite end. I mean, pedigree suggests he's probably more of a sprinter. Practical Joke was a fine router. Into Mischief's a decent miler. But I can see based on the last race, people may think that he's going to be better around 2 turns. And Lobo and Corrales have been hot, but Corrales has been a little disappointing. I figured this horse is going to take some money, and he's one that I just thought you might be able to beat. So I spread pretty deep here with the 1, 6, 11, 10, I think 12 I said. Yeah. 1, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Just trying to get around some of the favorites, and I tried to cover as many of the other sort of logical horses I could. 44-1 in this 10 is pretty intriguing. But anyway, Josh, what'd you like here?
I'm still kind of trying to form an opinion here. I looked at the 13. I had the same concerns as you with the distance. I mean, you came second by a neck in a grade 3 going 1.5 miles. What the fuck are you doing going 1 mile at Turfway Park?
Nothing makes sense about it, right? I mean,
the horse is 3. You know what I mean? Like the horse is 3 has shown ability at the marathon distance. The horse is only going to get better at that as he gets older. I mean, are they just trying to collect the purse here? It's a big purse still, right? It's a $72,000 purse. It's not like it's nothing, but I don't know.
Nothing about this horse makes sense. Like the fact that, the horse has been, kept at Keeneland ever since the Breeders' Cup and went off at 5-1 in that Breeders' Cup race. I mean, went in with relatively high expectations. And then just kind of stabled at Keeneland. I doubt it's actually Doug O'Neill. I don't know who is handling his operations in Kentucky. But the huge cutback, the blinkers going on, the fact this horse wasn't also eligible, just like so much about this horse doesn't make sense that like I don't want to bet him at a short price.
Yeah, I didn't have a good opinion in this race. I thought it was sort of wide open. I think you guys have talked a lot of holes and a lot of the favorites. And the reason that I thought, I guess that pushed me to thinking it was a little more wide open. So a lot of different ways you can go here. And I will agree with you, Caleb. That 10 at 49-1 is mighty interesting.
Yeah, I mean he's coming off of the fakest angle in racing, a first time gelding, but still, he had some trouble last time out. I'm sorry, you had some trouble last time out, but if you can kind of look over that, and he sort of fits in here at a ridiculous price. But I think you can make a case for a lot of the bombs in here. Like I think the one here at 20-1. I mean, the barn change is concerning, but Machado has been one of the better riders on this circuit, and this horse has some back races that would make him pretty dangerous in here. Same thing with the 12. You're getting probably the second best jockey in the colony with Steve Asmussen going off at 30-1 at stripping out of Churchill, which has been a pretty profitable angle. Now the horse looks on form not very good, but there's just some huge prices in here. If you can get around the 4 and the 13 of the short prices, the ones I like the best would definitely be the 6 and the 11. Well, the 11 and the 6 in that order. But
I keep on looking at the 12. And the horse is 28-1. If I keep on coming back to it, I'm going to have to fire something. So Steve Asmussen saw fit to claim the horse for himself last time out. So he owns and trains this one. He's 20% first off the claim. I know, he hasn't been he's only run a small sample size here, but doesn't have a win yet. But he gets Joe Ramos. The horse has had 4 tries over the turf. And has 2 tries over the all-weather, including a win. So there's a little bit to like here. Definitely has turfy, mile pedigree on the bottom with Lemon Drop Kid as the dam sire. Violence, I don't typically think of for turf, but I normally think dirt sprinting. But is a Megdoro, so. Those generally tend to run on anything, so I don't know. The 12 at that price just seems like an overlay. The other horse that I kind of landed on was the 6 horse, Picasso, for William Walden. He doesn't send out a ton, but he's 33% on the meet. He's got 2 wins and 6 starts. Another Churchill shipper, has been on a bit of a layoff. But if you look at that work tab, the horse has been working pretty regularly here for the past couple months at Turfway. Fired a bullet 3 back, 2 for 39, 2 back, going 47 and 2, and then it looks like just kind of a maintenance work here, going 48 and 3. So, although the horse is off a layoff and the horse is yet to try the all weather, has a couple of runs over the surface in works. And he's kind of floated up. I think he's kind of getting lost on this board. He's 5-1. I think all the money's going to the 13 here now. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do something here with this 6 and 12. I think I'm going to bet this 12 to win because I need to. And then I'm going to do a 6-12 exacta box here.
Any love for this 3 at all? Just, I realized the last race was pretty bad, but horse kind of looks like lone speed on paper. I don't necessarily know a horse on top, but at a big price to clunk up underneath in a try or something. Hold on for a bit of a piece.
Maintainer, is that the horse?
Yeah.
Fernando de la Cruz is all Caleb needed to see.
No, I didn't have the horse anywhere, and I kind of struggled to see it. But 30-1, 30-1. 60-1. Wow, 60-1.
62-1. Yeah. Caleb is not going to talk. Caleb, do not talk him off another 50-1 horse.
I only talk one person off of 150-1 once a year.
That was like 2 years ago. So
you are due. I guess that's true.
I also played a small 1-6-12 try box, just in case.
So just more of a general point, Josh. Do you find that Turfway, big fields, bombs galore? I mean, try boxes are more of your go-to exacta boxes compared to
I think verticals are the way to play because it's similar to Kentucky Downs, right? The Kentucky
That's what
Downs
it feels
problem.
like. Yeah.
We've talked about this, right? Like you play pick 5, and if you get there, you're gonna get paid. The problem is that there's always seems to be some crazy bomb that comes in, and unless you are a like just a Turfway whisperer, like our buddies in the Discord, um, it's just tough to get there, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think the smaller horizontals, pick 3s, doubles, and exactas are the way to go. But it's all personal preference. Like some people can get just their face beat in all meat and hit once, and that turns them net positive, and they're happy. But
This is an extremely aggressive route on the 11. I don't know who that is, but you better hope he stuns the best.
I saw them get to work on my 12 here, but I think he's got. No, I think he's got too much to do.
Oh, I see him on the far outside.
I think the 13's a winner from here.
Mark's 3 at 60-1. Switching outside.
Trying.
Well, 1's flying. He's going to round to real estate, but he'll get up for 3rd. Now 4th.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just such. This is why I don't play Turfway. It's such a vintage Turfway thing that like both favorites are so like suspect on paper. It's a 13 horse field and they just run 1-2. Like, it's just, I just can't make sense out of this place. I mean, the ride on Chris Landeros is pretty criminal. I mean, by Chris Landeros is pretty terrible. I mean, you don't have a speed horse. Like, why are you making an early move and setting a 23-second internal fraction when you got a 50-1 horse in front of you? Albeit a 50-1 horse who I liked, but a 50-1 horse. Like, just sit second. But,
Well, I took my shot with my bomb there. I missed. But Mark, what is your total for tonight?
I am sitting at 365.
Okay, we halved them. We cut them in half.
Yeah, I got cut right in half.
Caleb, what do you got left?
I will be contributing to the Bourbon for America Fund.
All right. Looks like we'll be back here next week. I wasn't as bad. I have 273. So I had the couple. I cashed a couple bets tonight. I fired pretty heavy, trying to connect on something. But I cashed 3 bets. They all paid about $70, but I put about 150 through the window. So I'm down like $80 tonight. So yeah, we'll be firing next week. Everyone, have a happy new year. Hopefully you guys, hopefully someone hits a mandatory. I want to see all these winning tickets. You guys getting one of these mandatory payouts here, and I don't know. Caleb seems like he's gonna be pretty light. I'm gonna be pretty light this weekend. We're locked in to watch all 3 Lord of the Rings movies on Saturday. So our charcuterie. So I've been doing like that meal delivery. So I've been doing like HelloFresh and Blue Apron and just like doing that stuff. And so HelloFresh had a charcuterie board on sale. It was like $20 or something, and it was like like a fondue dip and like cheese, meat, everything, bread, the whole thing. And so I got it thinking like, all right, we'll fire this bad boy up and have it for this movie marathon. Andrew Champagne then let me know that he absolutely hates charcuterie boards. He went on about a 10-minute rant about charcuterie boards on the podcast yesterday.
How does somebody not like a charcuterie board?
You know what? I'm going to let you ask Andrew Champagne. I'm going to let you ask Andrew Champagne that. But it like just didn't come. All the rest of my order came. Just for some reason, charcuterie board didn't come. So I will be going out tomorrow and hunting for charcuterie, which is super easy. It's not like I got to do a lot, but yeah. So we're gonna a charcuterie board, and I got a couple nice bottles of wine, and we got 3 4-hour-long movies to get through. So we'll probably start at like 11 and see if we
Is
get
this like
through
a
'em.
Rodriguez household thing to do?
So I told my wife I hadn't seen the third one.
Okay.
So she's like, all right, well, we're going to watch all three. I'm like, I've just not seen the third one. She's like, yeah, well, we got to start from the beginning, and we're going to do it in one day. And this is what we're doing on New Year's. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, it'll be fun. And Caleb, obviously, he's got like the coolest plans ever. Hopefully they come through. But he'll be at a bowl game, I think. And Mark, are you going to
Oh,
be
nice.
skiing?
I will probably be skiing. We'll see what the weather brings Saturday. But more than likely skiing unless it's a complete washout.
Awesome. Well, if you guys don't hear from us this weekend, it's because we're out enjoying things other than horse racing for once. But
You guys are enjoying horse racing?
well, yeah, I haven't been the past couple weeks. It's been an absolute bloodbath. And then I went to the casino yesterday with Brian. That was another bloodbath. But yeah. So wishing all you guys a happy New Year, and we will be signing off.